If you were about to scrape that little lump of mud off your wall, stop for a second. Not forever, just long enough to ask one question. Did something put it there on purpose? Because that brown spot under your window, on your porch, beside your garage door, or tucked under the eave may not be random dirt. It may not be a stain. It may not even be the kind of wasp nest most people are imagining. Sometimes that little mud mark is a sealed room, and sometimes there is a life inside it. That is the part most people miss. From the outside, it looks boring. A hard brown smear, a short clay tube, a row of tiny pipes, a little pot stuck to the wall. Something you would remove in 2 seconds without thinking. And that first instinct makes sense. It is on your house, it looks messy, you did not put it there, so your brain says, scrape it off. But before the scraper touches it, look closer. Is there a little opening? Is it under shelter, where rain cannot hit it directly? Does it look like several small chambers pressed together? Because in many yards, mud like this is not spilled. It is built. The builder may be a solitary wasp, such as a mud dauber, potter wasp, or another mud building relative. But do not worry about the name yet. The important thing is this. This is usually not a giant colony. It is not a busy paper nest with workers guarding every inch of it. It is not a yellow jacket entrance where insects pour in and out. In many cases, the whole project begins with one female, one builder, one tiny construction site, one mouthful of mud at a time. She finds wet soil near a puddle, a hose drip, a garden bed, or the edge of a path. She gathers a bit of it, carries it back, presses it into place, and leaves again. Then she comes back with more, and more, and more. What looks like a dirty accident may have taken dozens of trips. But here is where the story gets stranger. She is not just building a wall. She is building rooms. Inside that dry shell, there may be separate cells, almost like tiny private chambers. Each one can become a nursery for one developing young. And a nursery needs more than walls. It needs food. For mud daubers, that food is often spiders. Other solitary wasps may use caterpillars or other small arthropods, depending on the species. The adult wasp hunts, stings the prey, and carries it back. Not for herself. For the larva that has not even hatched yet, she places the food inside the cell, lays an egg, then seals the chamber with mud. From your side, you see a brown lump. From inside, it is a locked room with an egg, a food supply, and a future insect waiting in silence. That is why breaking it open is not the same as wiping away dirt. You may be opening a nursery before the story is finished. Now, this does not mean every mud mark on a house is precious. And it definitely does not mean you should touch every unknown nest. The real skill is learning the clues. First, look at the shape. Long tubes can point toward a mud dauber type nest. A little clay pot shape can suggest a potter wasp. A rough patch of sealed mud cells can belong to other solitary builders. Second, look at the place. These nests often appear where they are protected, under eaves, under windowsills, inside sheds, on porch walls, on outdoor equipment, or in sheltered corners. Third, look at the traffic. One slender wasp coming and going is very different from many insects entering the same opening again and again. Many workers around one shared nest can mean a different situation. Fourth, look at the connection. If the mud is connected to the ground, foundation, or wall crack like a covered tunnel, do not guess. Some structural pest signs can also involve mud-like tubes. A video cannot identify your house from across the internet. If it looks connected to the building itself, get a clear photo and ask a local extension office or professional. That is the balance. Do not panic, but do not be careless either. Many solitary mud building wasps are not aggressive toward people. They do not have a large colony to defend. They are often busy with mud, flowers, and prey for their young, but they are still living animals. Do not poke them, squeeze them, trap them, or put your face close to an active nest. If someone nearby has a serious sting allergy, or if the nest is in a doorway, play area, indoor space, or another bad location, Removal may be reasonable. The point is not never remove it. The point is identify first. Because this is where the yard becomes more interesting than it looks. A puddle becomes building material. A porch wall becomes shelter. A spider under a leaf becomes food for a larva sealed inside clay. A small wasp becomes an architect, hunter, and parent, all in one. And the thing you almost scraped away becomes evidence of a whole hidden life cycle. So if you find one of these mud structures, try this. Take a photo from a safe distance. Notice the shape. Notice the location. Watch for activity, but do not disturb it. Ask whether it is old and empty, active and sheltered, or something that needs identification before you touch it. If it is outdoors, away from heavy human traffic, and it looks like a solitary mud nest, leaving it alone is often the easiest choice. If it is in the wrong place, remove it carefully when appropriate and follow local guidance. The smart move is not fear, it is patience. Because the smallest marks around a home are sometimes the ones with the biggest stories hidden inside. The next time you see a hardened bit of mud under a window or in the corner of a porch, do not immediately scrape it flat. Step back. Look at the shape. Look for movement. Ask what built it. Because sometimes the mud on your wall is not just mud. It is a tiny nursery, and hidden yard life was already there before you noticed.